What type of life is it as a Muslim woman that you die and your eternity is up there having sex with all these guys? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it does one of two things. It makes them leave Islam, or remember, if you've been convinced that Allah's God and this is their only religion, well, hey, what choice do I have? You see, understand?
Yeah.
Okay, if I have been duped and beyond any reasonable doubt convinced this is true, I'm stuck. What do you want me to do, Vinny?
Yeah.
This is how Allah does what he wants. I'm just glad I'll be there. I won't be burning in the fire. See, this is why do I say you have to be careful demonizing all Muslims? Because many of them are victims of the system, right? And I don't know. I was going to say something, but anyway, they're victims of the system. But coming to the explanation, I'm going to explain 4:128. Now, remember, how many wives can the Muslim have? Up to
2,
4.
3, or 4.
Yeah. So you can have 2, 3, 4.
Okay. If you could handle it and be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muhammad had 11.
11.
When he died, he widowed 9. Now, what makes it more tragic and disgusting, this is why I cannot believe, if someone knows Jesus, he'd leave Jesus for Muhammad. That's why I say, if you want to really get people to never consider Muhammad, say, look what Muhammad did compared to Jesus. Jesus' beauty will show you how disgusting these teachings are, right? Focusing on, look at Christ, look at Muhammad. In fact, comparing Muhammad to Paul, the apostle, a glorious, holy servant of Christ. And all he was a servant. If you see his lifestyle and his purity, he makes Muhammad look filthy by comparison. Just Paul, who's not our God in the flesh. But nonetheless, not only in 4:128, if you go back, did Muhammad treat one of his wives unjustly. Every single wife of Muhammad, after he died, could never remarry again. That's in the Quran. You cannot have his wives after him. So he left some of them widows. Aisha was 18, they say, and others in their 20s widows, and some of them lived to their 50s without ever being able to marry, have children. This is what he did to them. And you're telling me he's a mercy unto mankind? Seriously? And what does it tell you about a man who had 9 wives and couldn't get any of them pregnant? Right? They say that his first wife, Khadija bin Khuwaylid, that was his first wife. She was 15 years his senior. She was actually his boss. He used to work for her. If we go with again, remember, we're going by the Islamic narrative. He used to work for her, and she was so impressed by his conduct, she proposed marriage, and he married her. According to Islamic tradition, she was a wealthy merchant woman because she had married 2 wealthy men, and they died, left their fortune. And he used to be a caravan trader for her. So she was his boss. According to the Sunni tradition, he married her when he was 25, she was 40. And so she supposedly mothered all his children. But every son he had died as a toddler. None of his sons lived even to adulthood. Now, he only stayed with her until she died. Now, I'm going to explain to you why this is significant. After that, he went crazy. He started just collecting wives. All his children, not only the sons, died as toddlers, but even his daughters, who got married later, died. The only child that outlived him was his daughter Fatima, who then died 6 months later. And she was married to Ali ibn Abu Talib, who's his first cousin. And hence you get the Shia and Sunni divide. Because Muhammad's lineage is traced to his daughter Fatima, because she gave him 2 grandsons, Hassan and Hussein. This is where the Shia trace Ahlul Bayt. So this has significance with the Shia and the Sunni. They don't get along. Fatima, right? Ali, who's supposedly the rightful successor of Muhammad, he was robbed. She gave him his 2 grandsons because he had no boys. He had no successors. Hassan Hussein. Ahlul Bayt, the family line of Muhammad, supposedly comes from that line. But with that said, supposedly he got Khadija pregnant when she was 40. Okay, we'll give him that. The other wives, he couldn't get any of them pregnant. But then he had a sex slave, Maria al-Qubtiyah, Mary the Copt, sent to him. He supposedly got her pregnant. She gave birth to his son, Ibrahim, and he died when he was 2. Okay, so maybe something happened. He got lucky with her. There's some questions whether that was really his son, but we don't get into that. My whole point is, of all these women, he only got one woman supposedly pregnant after Khadija, son who died. None of the other women who can get pregnant, not even Aisha, who married at 9, left them all childless and widows who could never remarry again. And he's a mercy unto woman. Where's the mercy in leaving these women without a husband or children for the rest of their days? That's merciful? Women have needs, right? They want companionship. They want intimacy. They want children. And he left them with none of that. And you're telling me he's a mercy unto mankind. Now, to show you how cruel he is, that's where you're going to come 4:128. Now you're going to see the cruelty of Muhammad. Now you're going to see how this man is considered a mercy. I have no idea. Man, if he's merciful, then you and me, Vinny.
We're in trouble.
Oh, my goodness. Now, it says, if a woman fears from her husband contempt or desertion, there is no sin upon them if they make terms of settlement between them. Now, the context is Sauda bin Zama. She was an older wife of Muhammad. Now, when he was married to Khadijah, he never got married. When she died, it says that then he multiplied wives. The second wife was Aisha. My memory fails me if it was Salama, the first one, but nonetheless, he married her among the 11 wives. But he was no longer attracted to her. This is in the Muslim tradition. I didn't write this. Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, they're writing this, so I don't want people to condemn me to hell. They can look at any commentary. And she feared that mom was going to divorce her. There's even a hadith in Bukhari that says she would go out to the call of nature, but because she was a huge fat lady, you wouldn't miss her. You know it's her. Right? Hey, what are you doing? We can see you, right? So it describes a huge fat woman, fat lady. So she's a large woman and an older woman. She feared Muhammad is going to divorce her. So she made a deal with him. Keep me as your wife, but you don't have to visit me. Because part of the deal was he would have to visit these wives on successive days. But the Quran says it's up to him. He could choose not to. I'm not going to see you. I'm going to see you. The Quran says it's up to his discretion. That's chapter 33 of the Quran, verses 50 to 51.
Which wife you want to see and which wife you don't want to see.
Yeah, up to you.
So there's not a set schedule calendar you have to follow.
So that means you be thankful if he chooses to see you. Be grateful. So she comes to him and says, look, don't divorce me. Keep me as your wife. Now remember, each wife has to have her own house. And she cannot go out unless there's a need and with his permission. So can you manage you're under house arrest pretty much? You can only go if it's a need or he gives you permission. So he has 11 wives, 11 homes. They have to stay home until he says you can come out, or if it's something really like, hey, I got to run to the toilet. Okay. This woman said, don't divorce me. Keep me as your wife. And the day assigned to me, you can give it to Aisha. So Aisha had 2 days.
The 9-year-old.
Yep. And he left this woman in a house all by herself the rest of her days. And the Quran says, good agreement. If you agree to it, no problem. So his God said, if that's the deal, go with it. Now, why did she want to be his wife? See, this is again. Because the Quran says that all of Muhammad's wives will be his wives in paradise. So she was hoping that if he didn't divorce her, she'd end up with him in paradise. See the mindset? Please don't divorce me. Let me die as your wife. So at least in paradise, I'll be your wife. And he left this woman alone in a house without, and having no children with her, all because he was not attracted to her. And she knew it. And she said, don't divorce me. Now, if Muhammad was merciful, you know what a merciful God and a prophet would say? What are you, crazy? I love you just as much as the first day I laid my eyes on. In fact, I love you more. What do you mean? No, you're my wife, and I'm going to honor you. Oh, okay, good deal. Let's go for it. And it's sanctioned in the Quran. See what it says? If a woman fears from her husband contempt or desertion, there is no sin upon them if they make terms of settlement between them, and settlement is best. So if you agree to this, all right, good deal, go with it. But who wins in this deal? The men. The men are winning. The women are getting abused. I don't know how in the world this guy is a mercy unto mankind. And when people tell me respect my prophet, how can I respect such a man who has not only destroyed the people around him?
Sam, when you walk in the streets, how often then have Muslims approached you? What kind of threats are you getting when you're out there saying what you're saying?
Interestingly, TikTok and Instagram, the clips made me famous. Not because I wanted to. So if I'm going places, I'll get recognized. But Muslims, even if they recognize me, will try to avoid me. Because remember, unless it's a fanatic who wants to kill me, they're not here to kill or go to jail, right? So if they even recognize me, they won't come up to me, right? Because again, this stereotype, not all Muslims are killers, not all Muslims are terrorists. So I haven't run into the wrong 10%.
Muslim. Yeah.
I haven't run into them.
Got it.
Yeah. So thank God.
Yeah. No, that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
It's a very good thing. By the way, in regards to us, Assyrians,
Yes.
the story about what happened with us, You're a good storyteller. You know how to break things down well.